Hello, good people. Welcome to Good Things Fashion Tutorial. Today we are going to be learning how to make hijab, a wrapped hijab. And in order to achieve that, I have here with me 2 years of lycra fabric. But we only need 34-inch fabric by 60-inch length to achieve this style. You need 34-inch of fabric. Here is 36 inches, but we actually need 34-inch, which is the maximum standard length for this style. But the minimum standard length is 20 inches by 60 inches. So here I am. I've already spread the fabric, folded it into two, and I've measured out my 34-inch, and that's what I'm going to cut out now. This is me cutting out the 34-inch fabric. I'm cutting it on the side of the 60-inch length. The regular way the fabric is made by 60. So I've already measured the width, which is 34-inch by 60 inches, and I removed the upper one, leaving my 34 inches by 60 inches fabric on the table. And all we need to do now is to measure out on the side of the fabric, measure out 15 inches. You measure out 15 inches on that side where you have a 60 inches. The fabric is 34 inches by 60. So I measure out 15 inches from that 60 inches, and that's what I marked out. After marking it, you now fold it from that point of the 15 inches. You fold it over. That's what I just did now. You fold it over, making that you now fold that 15-inch is now folded over the remaining fabric, like so. You fold it over like so. I told you earlier on that the minimum length you can use for the width of the fabric is 20 inches. I'm using 34 inches. Now I folded over that 15 inches on top of the remaining uh, length of the 60 inches by the side, like so. And this is me confirming the 15 inches to be sure is correct, is accurate. Now the next thing is to notch the edge of the fabric at the corner, at the folded corner. You notch it to know where your 15 inches ended. That's what I just did. Now the next thing is to mark out our face length, round. And because it's a stretchy fabric, for a standard adult face length, we use 10 inches, because the fabric is a stretchy fabric. So this is me marking out 10 inches on that 15-inch folded fabric. I mark out 10 inches, remaining 5 inches under it. That 10-inch is where my face is going to come out from. Then the remaining 5 inches where I'm marking, that's where I'm going to sew down. I will sew down the fabric at that remaining 5 inches. Now the next thing is to go to my sewing machine to join it together and show you better what I'm trying to say. Now you look for that notch area at that 15-inch point, at the 15 inches point on the fabric. You look for the place where you notch. We notch the point of the 15-inch that we measured. So the next thing is to look for it. You can see it. That's the notch area there. You can now fold your fabric from that place. You fold it that, like we folded it on the table, you fold that 15 inch over the fabric, the remaining part of the fabric, like so. You fold it, you can see the 10-inch mark that I made after measuring it on the 15 inch. I measured out 10 inch and made a mark there. You can see the mark, and that is where I'm going to start to sew the fabric. But before we actually sew down that our face area, we need to turn the fabric all round for a neat finishing. You turn it inside. You can take it to if you prefer, you can take it to a weaving machine and have it weaved for you. Then you can also turn it like I'm doing. You turn it twice and sew it down for a neat finishing, like so. You turn the edges on the four side of the fabric. Turn it inside and sew it. So turn it twice. You can decide to turn it once, but then it might not be as neat as turning it twice because it's a stretchy fabric. For it to have a uniform edge, you turn it twice, though it's not going to unravel or expose threads because it's already a stretchy fabric. But for a neat finishing, we need to turn it. That's why I turn it. And this is me after turning it, measuring out my 15 inches again. Remember, it's on the side of the 60 inch of the fabric. You measure it out of that 60 inches side of the fabric. You measure out 15 inches and fold the fabric over. You mark it. I'm marking it again. You can see me marking it again. That 15 inches point. Then you fold it over the rest of the 60 inches. Fold it over and you now measure out your face circumference from that 15 inch. This is me using my office pin to hold it down so that the fabric does not move. I'm using my office pin to hold the fabric down so that 50 inches does not change. Now the next thing is to measure out our face circumference, which I said is 10 inches for a standard adult face. For if you are using a stretchy fabric, if it's a non-stretchy fabric, it might be 11. But it's better you measure your clients, and that is the 10-inch point there, which I marked. I marked it, and it is from that place that we begin to join the fabric to the rest of the 5 inches. Remember, it's remaining 5 inches out of that 15 inches after measuring out the 10 inches for the face circumference. So this is me sewing down the remaining 5 inches. This is me sewing down the remaining 5 inches on the fabric of the fabric. And remember to remove your office pin as you sew along, and that's it. I have successfully sewed down the remaining 5 inches part of the 15 inches, leaving only the space for my face to come out after wearing the wrap hijab. You can see it. That's the face circumference there for my face to come out after wearing it. Now The next thing is to wear it, and you see this is how it's going to look after joining it. This is the fabric. You can see the remaining length from that 60 inch. This is how you wear it. This is how it's going to look like. That's the 5 inch under my chin. That's the remaining 5 inches. Then the remaining length from that 60 inches is what I'm holding up, which you will use to wrap your body in this manner. There are several ways you can style this wrapped hijab. There are many ways you can style it. If you want, you can decide to put a hijab cap on it, but I just decided to leave it plain without a hijab cap. You can style it in several ways. You can make it big in this manner to wrap around your chest very well. You can also style it like this. Take it up over your head and bring it over under your chin, and use your office pin. You use your pin, your hijab pin, or your safety pin to pin it together under beside your chin, and in this manner you wear it like this. You can see how beautiful it is and very simple. Thank you very much. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel so that you'll be notified as soon as I post another well explained